Check. 1, 2, 3.
The D. Brief. This is the D Brief.
Your guide to Detroit.
Your guide to Detroit's arts
and entertainment scene.
This is the D
Brief.
Hello and welcome to the Debrief, your podcast for Detroit concerts, comedy, plays, food, drink, and more. It is Wednesday, July 3rd, and I know you're excited because you're about to get some time off of work. I'm excited too.
Yeah. You know what else today is?
Oh, it's your birthday!
It's my birthday!
Happy birthday! Damon, after the show, remind me to go buy something for her for her birthday.
That's okay. Your presence is a present enough.
I got you a Tony Rocco painting because I know you love him.
Oh, I
Yes.
would like another one for my house.
And it comes with a beer attached to it.
Wow.
I might even get you 6 of them.
Thanks. Thank you.
Here's the deal. If you've never listened to the podcast, I am Seth Ressler. I am the new guy to Detroit.
And I'm Becky Scarcello, and I'm the birthday girl.
We're not going to hear the end of that. Here's what's going on today's show besides your birthday. Bailey Sisoy Isgoro of Detroit History Tours and the Detroit History Club is going to join us and talk about Detroit history when it comes to the 4th of July.
And I'm going to tell you about an event coming up where you can learn to make some cocktails with us.
Yay!
Yes.
Not from us.
With us. We will be learning as well.
Probably better that way. RoboCop, Detroit's one and only, has a new job. We'll tell you about it.
And on Friday, we have an interview with Brian Lindsay. He's the owner of Handlebar.
All right. I want to remind you that we are now producing podcasts for Detroit arts and entertainment organizations.
Yes, We've
are. Had so many come on the podcast and say, we love this. We want to start our own. So if you want to learn more about how to do it and if that's right for your organization, head over to the website, MichiganPodcastProductions.com. Let's get into today's show and meet our returning guest host.
Welcome to the D
Brief. Detroit's
arts and entertainment scene.
Coming back for day number 2, one of Detroit's premier live entertainers. He's been doing it for 10 years and more. Over that time, he has racked up over 5 million views on YouTube. This guy gets a lot of comparisons to folks like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Harry Connick Jr., Justin Timberlake even, Cab Calloway. Welcome back, Ben Sharkey.
Thanks for having me, Seth. Happy birthday, Becky.
Thank you so much.
Well, let's start here. I mean, we've got you here. Will you sing something for us?
Yeah.
Oh.
That would be a wonderful
put me
present.
on the spot. Well.
You're an entertainer.
Do you have any songs that you heard on the album that you like?
You know, and I do. And I heard it live and I liked it even better.
Oh, nice.
The song Tidal Wave.
Oh, really?
Really got me. So.
Okay. Well, this song is generally sung very fast. It's kind of like a rap.
Yeah.
It was inspired by my diving into Brazilian bossa nova kind of music with Joe Beam and some of the other like faster stuff in the 60s that were like big and like Afro-Cuban beats kind of stuff that were influenced. So it's about while we're in that area, it's all about water and that kind of stuff. So the tidal wave is, a metaphor for, love and spinning out of control sometimes. And that's what the song is about. So it's about the ups and downs. And I
like it.
I could sing a little bit to you. It'll be a little bit slower.
Okay.
So you can focus on the lyrics. But it goes... Don't matter what I do or I say or the dues that I pay or the ice that I skate. It's still a heavy slate and I can't get away. No, I can't get away. 'Cause what I do and what I say never goes my way. Watching the clock I stay, sitting at the dock of the bay. You got me tripping, baby, what can I say? Because you're always on my mind. I see your name in each passing sign. And though your lips are my sweet escape, you touch my heart like a tidal wave. You lift me up, you bring me down, but you don't reach for my hand, you like to see me drown. For your love, I am a slave. You hit my heart like a tidal wave.
I'm getting all flushed. That's so good.
Thank you.
Nicely
Thank
done.
you.
If people want to hear more, by the way, the album is Mercury Rising, and people can get this where?
Anywhere that you get music, generally. Anywhere you stream. It's even available on Amazon.com, all that kind of stuff. And then I typically sell the CDs at my shows. And also, if you are having trouble getting a physical CD, you can just write me on bensharkey.com.
Well, first of all, let's point out, and I have a feeling this is something you have to do frequently, how you spell your last name.
Sharkey.
E-Y. Yes.
And you mentioned shows. You've got a couple coming up. Let's plug those, starting with July 12th.
Okay, so July 12th, we have the Clarkston Summer Concert Series, and it's in Depot Park. It's a free concert, and it's in Clarkston. It's the 39th annual concert. Summer
that's
concerts.
Really good.
So
wow.
that's kind of notable, I'd have to say. And then we have the Concert of Colors on July 13th, and that's a big cultural diversity concert series. That's an annual thing as well. And I will be on the DIA North Lawn stage from 8:30 to 10, and then on the 19th of July, I'm at Access.
Look at you! You got a big, busy schedule.
Yeah.
You're getting out.
Nice,
And I have a bunch of private events in between too. So busy.
Yeah, I mean,
busy.
people can hire you for a wedding or a corporate event or anything, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I get my own vacation this at the end of July. I'm going up north to like Petoskey area for a wedding.
Oh,
and
nice.
I get to put it into a little vacation there. It's nice.
Way to do it.
So that 19th was at Access Lounge at MGM. I'm not sure if I got all the way through that.
Yeah, and you have like a residency there, right?
Yes.
With a reoccurring. Yeah.
Cool. Well, look, we're glad you're back again for day number 2. Hang out with us. And,
Yeah, thanks for singing.
Have a good time.
Thank you.
Debrief.
Want more? Text the word Detroit to the number 444-999.
All right, Becky, let's talk about what's happening with food and drink.
Yeah, so our Detroit's own RoboCop has a surprising new role, some shoes to fill. He's the new would you say person? I don't know,
He's the new Colonel.
Yeah, he's the new Colonel Sanders.
Well, they've been doing this
For
thing
KFC.
over at KFC where they've rotated a bunch of actors.
But still playing that same character. Now it's RoboCop in the RoboCop suit.
Oh.
From the 1987 film set here in
KFC.
Detroit.
Yes.
Huh. Well, how does that work with chicken?
Well, they said they needed to step it up and have somebody from this futuristic world protecting their top secret chicken recipe.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe he was gonna come with a deep fryer.
That'd be an interesting take on it. But yeah.
So his utility suit.
Right. So I guess even in one video, so these ads are not like on TV yet, but they've been released online. Okay. And so it kind of comes to fruition when he goes to an underground storage facility. So it's capable of withstanding a nuclear blast. And that's where he's hiding the secret recipe.
The plots for these commercials is getting pretty in-depth.
Yeah. So you can look for this on the KFC YouTube channel, and they've kind of been teasing a few of them. So
now, was it actually Peter Weller, the original actor?
So that has not been confirmed, but he sounds exactly like him.
Because he pops up in things every now and then.
Yeah. So word on the street is that it's him. And also, RoboCop Returns movie is in the works. So I wonder if it kind of is to help tease that as well.
It has been a while since I've seen the original RoboCop. I wonder how well it holds up in terms of
Yeah, honestly,
plot.
I don't think I've seen it since 1987.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm kind of scared of that.
Right.
It might be kind of depressing. It's all glorified when you're young and it's, you
think it's super
so
cool.
cool and special.
Yeah,
and then
future.
you come back to it and you're like, oh, that's not really that great.
Right. And the future didn't turn out like they said it was going to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I went back and watched the Never-Ending Story, and
that doesn't really.
It doesn't hold up.
No. Yeah.
Was that a Jim Henson?
No, that was some Wolfgang, some
puppets.
German.
Yes.
I just discovered recently that there is in Atlanta. There's a puppet museum with all the Jim Henson
Really?
like puppets in it.
Nice.
Yeah, I was watching on Instagram, like I was just going through my feed and like somebody was vacationing and they went there and it blew my mind. All the like Dark Crystal puppets.
Did you see that they're bringing the Dark Crystal
Yes,
back?
I'm so
Netflix
excited.
is
Yeah,
for
I
a
saw that
series.
too.
I totally geeked out over that.
I'm glad somebody else is excited. I told my
Right.
girlfriend, and she's like, "Who cared? Like, what is this?"
I can't
don't
say
even
I'm
know.
excited. I just
I am excited for that.
You know what? I did see the actual Yoda puppet.
Yeah.
When they did the Star Wars exhibit at the DIA
Yeah.
that was here, and that was pretty cool to
Yeah.
see in person. I must say.
All right, so
Yeah.
don't knock it.
Yeah, you're right. I'll geek with you. Okay, so 4th of July, a lot of people grill stuff. Do you guys have a favorite thing? Either you grill yourself or you like to have on the grill?
So I love grilling. Right when I
I
bought
can
my
see
house
that.
last year,
Yeah, you're probably really
that was
excited.
actually one of the big expenses. I did a lot of
nice grill?
research on it, and I had to get talked out of the like grill with like the extra side thing that keeps your baked beans warm or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
6
yeah,
feet
yeah.
long, and like because I wanted to go all out, and I finally had my brother-in-law convince me, look, dude, you don't.
That's too much. It's overkill.
There's
Yeah.
two of you. You don't really need all that. But I like. I mean, I'm not particularly good at it, but I got the pellet tube, so you go in
What's
there.
your
you start
favorite food
smoking
to
things.
throw on there?
I love ribs. Beer butt chicken. I did beer butt chicken. Where do you know about this? Where you
Shove
Wow,
the-
just an elegant
First of all, you have to drink half the beer,
Oh, that's such a bummer.
or in my case, 5.5, because I can only find them in packs of 6.
Oh yeah, you don't want to waste. Yeah.
You don't want to waste. That would be a crime. And then you've got to you pour spices
In the can.
in the can.
in the beer butt.
And then you shove the,
then you
the
shove it up the
can
chicken's
up
butt.
the chicken's butt, and you put it standing up on the grill.
Is this what it's come to?
Yes.
Well, I think this is inspiring a new song for
Oh,
you. I can
yes.
see that that's very
You-
poetic.
You don't have
Yeah.
a song called Beer Butt Chicken?
I don't think that's going to be a thing.
You watch. All right. This is going to get you to 8 million views on YouTube
oh, boy.
right here.
People watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just take out with Weird Al. You could take some notes.
There you go. There you go. Well, ribs. I never eat ribs except in the summer. And like my mom makes them, my sister makes them. So good. So I thought I would highlight the ribs. So this weekend in Lake Orion is the 5th annual Michigan Rib Fest.
I'm in.
So it's all ribs, all barbecue, plus tons of bands, like a lot of local favorites, the Mugs, the Reefermen, and, of course, games and stuff for kids. And so that's July 4th through the 7th. I think the best place in Detroit to get ribs is Burt's in Eastern Market. You guys ever go down there on Eastern Market days?
Oh, yeah.
They're grilling the ribs
they're
right in
smoking-
front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. So Bert himself has started this new thing, Motown Tuesdays. So he's going to have different musicians, singers performing Motown, and you can have your ribs outside too.
Nice.
And Mark Kurlianchek, the restaurant critic over there at the Free Press, he just released an article and said that one of his 12 favorite dishes of 2019 so far is the beef back ribs from AB's Amazing Ribs in Dearborn Heights, which
I don't know that
I had not
place.
heard of. So
I'm going to have to check
Yeah.
that out.
out of his 12 favorite dishes of this whole year so far.
Wow.
I do love really good ribs, so I'm willing to go
Yeah,
explore.
so
There's a
to
lot
try
of good
them.
food in Dearborn.
There really, really is. I agree. So, cocktails. We love our cocktails, and we're always looking for, new places to go, new ones to try. But how about making some ourselves? Are you up for it, Seth?
Yeah, what did you sign me up for here?
Yeah, I signed you up. I coordinated this. So,
Can I participate?
yes, you can, and I'm glad you asked.
Becky always messages me on Slack, go, do you want to do this? And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever.
And then he's like, what is it again?
What is it? When
So
is it?
Detroit Cocktail Camp. This is run by a woman named Stacy, who we're going to get an interview with. But she and I spoke, and we're co-hosting this class. So on July 14th, Sunday, from 1 to 3, you can buy tickets for $49 and show up to the Anchor Bar, and there's going to be the bartenders there who are experts. They're going to teach us all together how to make tiki drinks.
Okay, so we're not teaching the class.
No. We are participating.
I know nothing about tiki drinks.
And I
It's
can't
like
wait
a-
to know more.
What's that?
Like an infomercial, kind of like we're
look-
going to be like, oh, this is amazing.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah.
I'm
Over animated.
I'm willing to learn about tiki
And we're gonna
drinks.
be-
I have
Oh, yeah.
no problem.
Me
We're going to
too.
be like presenting them and displaying that. Yeah.
I'll even do homework if there's
Here's
homework.
what I think is cool about this class
Okay.
too, is we're going to learn how to make punches, which is like batch cocktails. So, you're at a party, maybe you have a great cocktail recipe, but who wants wants to be sitting behind the bar shaking individual
All right, now
drinks?
it sounds like an infomercial.
So, we're going to make punches.
So, it slices, it dices.
It
There
punches.
may be fresh fruit involved. So, how was that? Did I sell you on it?
Yeah, look, you
I'm
had me at
sold.
alcohol. I mean, what do you want from
So
me?
join us, and there's only limited tickets, so you got to go get them. And I put a link in the bio of our
So
Instagram
where is this again?
Anchor
at the
bar.
Anchor Bar.
The Tiki Bar. Is it the new
no,
Tiki?
no,
Anchor
no.
Bar's old school institution,
Oh.
recently
Which
revamped.
we've talked about a lot, and I haven't been to. This is like the old.
I used to eat lunch there, like way.
This
back
is
in
the old
day.
journalists hangout in downtown, where like all the newspaper men would hang out.
Yeah.
And you get a history lesson too?
Yes.
You want a history
Perfect.
lesson? Detroit History Podcast, which Tim Kiska puts together, is fantastic, and he did an entire episode on the Anchor Bar.
Oh, okay. And
Perfect.
Lindell AC maybe too. But
And then when we
Anyways.
had Carmen Harlan on the podcast, she talked about it too.
Yes,
she was
she used to
telling
hang
us.
out there. Yeah.
She
Check
might
this
have
place
talked
out.
about it before we hit the record button, I think. But-
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she was
But yeah,
talking
so
about it.
come out, join us. We'll have a fun party with our listeners making cocktails on July 14th. So, we talked a little bit about grocery stores. There is going to be a new grocery store today, opening today, Plum Market.
Oh, finally.
Downtown in the Ally Center. So that's, some of you may know it as the One Detroit Center. It's next to Townhouse there. So they're going to have fast casual dining, a patio, Zingerman's Coffee. Not quite a full grocery store, but definitely the closest and biggest grocery selection in downtown to
Uh-oh.
date.
Is this competition for your eatery market there?
You know what?
It's
I
a
don't
different
think so.
neighborhood.
No, it's a
Yes.
different neighborhood. Yeah.
All right, as long as we're not rumbling.
Hey, you know what?
Territorial grocery stores.
No, we haven't had enough. We need
Yeah.
it. So we need them both. So a couple of unfortunate closings. Katsu in the Woodbridge neighborhood. That's one of those izakayas like Anti-Hero in Ferndale, like kind of the Japanese gastropub that kind of became a bit of a trend. It only opened in December, but already closed end of
no.
June.
That's quick.
Yeah.
Wow.
And also closed Axel Brewing, Livernois Tap Room.
Yeah,
one of
we
my
knew that was gonna
favorites.
happen.
Yeah. So they wrapped up June 30th.
I saw a sad Instagram
Mm-hmm.
post.
Oh, it's a tough business.
The D3.
All right, Ben, every now and then we like to have somebody call in who is an expert in a particular topic that maybe knows more than Becky and I do.
Excellent.
Today we have a woman who's been on the show many, many times. I can't even count at this point. She runs the Detroit History Club and Detroit History Tours. Bailey Sisoy Isgoro, welcome back to the show. You're on a phone line because you don't have internet. I thought you were supposed to be, you're supposed to live in the present, even if you talk about what happened in the past.
Hey, at least it's not coming to you by telegram. But thanks for having me
Yeah,
back.
homing pigeon. Yeah.
Only with the smoke signals.
What's going on? Well, look, I mean, obviously, one of the things we got to talk about is 4th of July, because that's what's on everybody's mind this week. Can you talk to us a little bit about the history of 4th of July in Detroit? Like, what were the things that people used to do to celebrate over the years?
Well, since 1959, we've had the International Freedom Festival in Detroit. It ended in 2007, and it became two separate activities, the Windsor Summerfest for our Canadian friends to the south, and Detroit River Days for us here in the city. But from 59 to 2007, it was its own independent festival called the International Freedom Festival, and it was the biggest multi-country border festival in the world. And it was generally put our fireworks on the Monday night of that festival in order to split the difference between Canadian Independence Day on July 4th, or on July 1st, I apologize, and American Independence Day on July 4th. Today, with the two festivals, it means that there's actually 19 days of festivals running. First Riverfest, followed by Canada's version. So they still do the Windsor Detroit fireworks on a Monday so that both festivals get one day of their festival covered by the fireworks, which are now sponsored by Target. They're one of the biggest on the continent. This year, I heard it drew over 180,000 people on the Detroit side alone.
Wow. This sounds like when you have a kid who's born really close to Christmas and you have to go the extra mile to make sure that they don't feel like they're getting shafted with the gifts. You know what I
That's
mean?
funny you say that, though, because my birthday is July 3rd.
Oh, right. And
Today.
I got you
January 10th.
fireworks.
Well, that's what I used to think when I was a little girl, that because the fireworks in Wyandotte, where I grew up, were on the 3rd. And my parents were always like, yes, for you.
Wow.
I bought it. Yeah.
You were a very special child.
I guess.
It was like your own special Santa Claus.
Right.
So what else would they do aside from the fireworks? What else is part of the 4th of July history here in the city of Detroit?
I think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Hudson's flag. Hudson's had, when we say big's not a big enough word, a freaking enormous flag. The original was 90 feet high, 230 feet long. Each of the 13 stripes on the American flag were 8 foot high.
Wow.
Great on the Woodward Avenue side of the Hudson's department store, which is now where Dan Gilbert is building his newest and what will become tallest skyscraper in Michigan. So this massive flag goes on the side of the Hudson's building in 1928, and the U.S. Capitol building out in Washington, D.C. sort of was like, oh, crap, we don't have the biggest flag. The biggest flag is in Detroit. So Hudson does this great marketing ploy, and they loan their flag to the Capitol building.
Wow.
So it gets sent out to the Capitol, and it's displayed there for 1929 and 1930. Then it travels to the New York World's Fair in 1939. And by the time it finally gets back to Detroit in 1940, it's looking like a flag that's been, used for 11 years. It's done all of this traveling. So they retire the flag on Armistice Day, which used to be what we call July 4th. Armistice Day, which is what we used to call Veterans Day. Then on July 4th of 1950, they debuted the new flag, which of course had to be bigger. So this one comes in at 104 feet by 235 feet, and it weighs 1,600 pounds.
What? Wow.
In order to hang it off the side of the Hudson's building on July 4th of 1950, it took 55 men and over a mile of rope.
Wow. Now that's a fact. That's a fun fact. Huh.
The timing on this was a little bit sad, though, because Alaska and Hawaii then become states.
No.
And so they're rendering the flag obsolete. So now they need to build a 50-star flag.
They couldn't just put some stickers on it or something.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of whiteout.
Yeah.
A lot of recentering of the stars.
Well, if you're going to build a new flag, you know what they did. They had to go bigger.
Oh
so
my
now
gosh.
this was, each individual star was over 6 feet high.
Oh my goodness.
60 of them. They finally get this thing built. It takes 5 seamstresses over a year to construct. And when it is done in 1960, it is displayed all the way until 1976 at the flagship store before being donated to the Smithsonian.
Wow. I feel like I now know where Kid Rock got the inspiration for his stage outfit. Like that explains a lot.
That was it. He knew
no
this
matter
history.
how many flags, no matter how many flags Kid does, this still remains the biggest American flag ever constructed.
Is it still at the Smithsonian?
Sadly, no. In the mid-1980s, the flag, which had never been displayed by the Smithsonian, was in such terrible condition from being exposed to the sun for so long that they actually had an Army color guard come in and effectively retire the flag by burning it respectfully.
Wow.
Wow.
And no one's come anywhere close
big
to
flag.
that.
Well, Bailey, let me ask you about something else. Let's shift gears here for a moment because I know it's rained like crazy. I know we are hearing a lot of warnings about the water levels of the Great Lakes.
All our waterways.
I mean, is this something that is a historical anomaly or is this something that we've seen before?
This is in all ways a what the hell moment. It is absolutely befuddling the Detroit Yacht Club, the Detroit Boat Club, the Edison Boat Club, Jefferson Boat Club, all of the Great Lakes sailors and swimmers. The water level is at the highest it's been in 86 years.
Yikes.
It's a long time.
And they're not actually positive that the records they have from 86 years ago are accurate enough. We may be at an all-time high in the way we've been keeping modern measurements. The Army Civilian Corps of Engineers also has said twice now they don't think it's going to go down anymore. They think we might get another 4 inches on the Detroit River.
Really?
So, for an example, if you're out on Belle Isle, we have the Detroit Boat Club and we have the Detroit Yacht Club. At the Detroit Boat Club, all of their docks are underwater. And at the Detroit Yacht Club, they are up to the seawall. In order to get into the harbor store where you buy your fishing gear and all of that, you walk through about 3 inches of water. So they've been forced to build pallets along several of their docks. to get them higher out of the water. And it's been an absolute team effort there. I can't say enough about sort of seeing the amount of work that staff and those members are putting in to making it safe. But these are guys who've been in the river for 150 years, and nowhere in their records are they showing the water ever being this high.
Wow. Stuff's getting real, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's yeah, I remember when this was just a documentary that seemed like a long way off.
Far-fetched, yeah.
Now it's like, all right,
Here it is.
I might need to go order a second sump pump just in case. Right? It's
a really big
have
sump
you
pump.
guys seen what's going on in like the Jefferson Chalmers neighborhood, East English Village?
Yeah.
We're seeing historic flooding. It was pretty incredible that the golf tournament ran so smoothly this past weekend with all they were dealing with sort of the swamping of the grass. It rained 31 out of 37 days.
Yeah, they had to move a lot of the parking.
I was seeing that these courses did not have to water at all this year.
No.
Yeah.
No, they were dealing with irrigation issues.
Right. Yeah. Whereas normally it's a ton of water.
Sprinklers,
to water those golf courses. Ugh.
I think the one that really drove it home for me is there's a lady and gentleman who own a home in the Palmer Park neighborhood with a pool in it. And they said traditionally they let the rain fill it all winter and the snow fill it, but then in the summer they have to top off the pool. Yeah. They said this year they've had to drain it 7 times.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez.
Whoa.
That's how much rain is coming down. And that's a pool that's been there since the home was built in 1919, and they said they've never had anyone have to not add any water, let alone drain it that many times.
Wow.
All right, on that note, Bailey, if people want to go see you or take one of your tours before the world ends.
Yeah, right.
Nice segue.
Before we all have to take boats everywhere.
How can they do that?
Well, aptly enough, we actually have our boat tours coming back.
We're going to be in the Venice of the Midwest.
Bailey's like, we're doing nothing but boat tours from now on, just to be on the safe side.
Feel free to board 2x2 with all the other animals. It's scary. Our tall ship is the Apple Boar. It comes down out of Bay City. It's a 110-foot historic tall ship. You can get tickets on those tours at DetroitHistoryClub.com. And we have stargazing tours and daytime tours covering the history of the river. And then we also have really big, exciting news about an event coming up in October. We're calling it the Houdini's All Hallow Eve Ball. It's going to be at the historic 1800s Detroit Club here in the city. We're taking over the entire clubhouse, bringing in illusionists, escape artists, snake charmers, fire breathers. It is going to be a wild party. Must come in 1920s clothing. So I know, Becky, you have your outfit from the Suffragettes Ball last year.
Oh, yeah, I'm all set. This looks fantastic.
I haven't gone clothes shopping since around then, so I should be fine.
You better be playing some Cap Calloway.
Yes.
Actually, was he 40s? Anyway. Sorry, I had to put my 2 cents in. That's my like
the music.
That's
Make sure
my
you
era,
get the music
for sure.
right. Yeah.
So were you saying Minnie the Moocher? Is that in your repertoire?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sold. I'm so sold. I can't wait to come to a show.
I can't believe we're talking about October already.
I know,
but
you know, with Bailey's events, you have got to plan ahead.
I know. You've got to,
because
she's always on my case because I never plan ahead. I'm like.
He's like, oh, we'll do it the week before. I'm like, you lose.
I'm like, call me 6 hours before it happens. I'll be there. So.
Sounds exciting.
Well, I can't believe we're already in July.
I know, right? Yeah.
Well, cool, Bailey. Well, we'll go check it out, and people can go to the website. Just look up Detroit History Club and Detroit History Tours, and you can find out all the cool stuff that you're doing. Look, we really appreciate you checking in.
Thanks so much for having me.
We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Bailey.
This is the D.
Detroit.
This is the D. Breathe.
That's it, Ben. Show number 2.
Okay.
Did you have a good time?
Wah, wah.
Wow, that's a reaction.
That was great.
He's just a little tired.
I thought you were building me up to something. I thought there was something else happening.
Okay.
There will be in just a moment, but before we get to that,
I'm ready. I see flashcards in your hand.
Shh! Don't give it away.
Okay.
Look, we want to let you know that we've got a website. It is thedebriefdetroit.com. If you go there and sign up for our email list, we will send you a link every week to things that are going on all around town.
Even easier, just text the word Detroit to 444-999.
All right, now let's use the flashcards.
It's game time.
Here's what's going to happen. We are going to ask you for a series of rapid-fire recommendations. Just tell us the very first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm very nervous.
What, was that a little evil?
I've got to say all the right things. It's very it's very complicated. Okay.
What about this? Where's your favorite place in the Detroit area to go on a romantic date?
On a romantic date? Oh, you know what? Is it named Girl of the House? No.
Lady of the
Lady
House.
of the House. Oh, that's a romantic atmosphere for sure.
I'd agree.
Great food. It has a nice fireplace there, and the setting is really cool. Kind of off the beaten path. You feel like, you know what? When you take someone out on a date, you want to take them out somewhere where you feel like, or you let them know that you are in the know of the best places to go. And that is some place that not everyone really knows about.
And
it made a good splash, but it sends the message. Like,
it's funny you say that because a previous intern of ours, remember, he wanted advice on where to take a date, and he took her to Lady of the House.
And is he still dating her?
I have to catch up with him.
Yeah,
I haven't
you
talked
need
to
to
him in a
find
while,
out.
but I
You need
know
to
it
see
was
if it
very
worked.
successful for that reason. She's like,
Yeah.
you know what you're doing. Mm-hmm.
So
it's all about the lighting.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. Okay, you're a dapper guy. And where do you like to shop for clothing, for men's clothing?
There is a place in Birmingham. Are we allowed in the
Metro?
In the Metro? Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's the debrief. Okay, so place called Dolce Moda in Birmingham. They were in Royal Oak before, and they've got like all the trendy kind of stuff. But they also have very classic things that have, the nice tailored fit. That has like just a pop of edge, so you stand out. I actually buy a lot of my coats for stage, my blazers for the stage there.
Nice. You're always looking sharp, and then you're not wearing what everyone else is wearing.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And it's also local business.
Win-win.
Yes.
You strike me as a vinyl guy. Is that
yes?
Is that right? Where's your favorite place to go record shopping?
So it's in Royal Oak. Just because it's close to me. It's UHF Records. Have you heard of this place?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm in Huntington Woods, and that's where my kids shop a lot,
so
too.
I like, they allow you to, there's no pressure to get in and out of there. They just like allow you to browse. It's kind of like going to a coffee shop for me. They probably should put coffee in there, but away from the records. But anyway, it's a great atmosphere in there, and they always have a great selection, and they're always getting new things in there. So that's a good spot for me.
One thing we didn't talk about is that you're also an artist, visual artist and painter. So do you tell us a little what you do, and if you have a favorite Detroit muralist or painter?
Oh my gosh. So I'm not the best at names. There's this muralist in town, Gray Ghost?
Ghost Beard.
Ghost Beard. That's it. Yes. Great guy too. Very funny, cool guy. He's like one of my favorites in town.
So like that kind of cartoon, bright colors.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. So yes, I am an artist. I originally went to school at CCS in Detroit for fine arts. I graduated with a BFA. And so actually before I started doing the music, people knew me as an artist. And now it's the switch, but people don't really know that I do art. But I did a show a couple years ago. I think it was in 2012. It was a doll face show. It was these large-scale faces. They were 6 feet tall by 4 feet wide, and it was a commentary on beauty and today's culture. And it's actually the proportions are messed with so that they are the big eyes far apart, nose very small, and lips big and wide. And it's the proportions of a girl coming to age of puberty. And we are, by nature, attracted to these features just for procreation, and it's something that's built in us. And so it's just a commentary on that and how our dolls are kind of have those features, and a lot of celebrities Photoshop their eyes to be bigger and small and all that kind of stuff. Those are primitive things in us that we are attracted to.
Very cool. Now, can people see your art online?
Yeah,
as well?
So I am now working on a series called The Invincible Gentleman, and it's something I'm very passionate about. It's about the disappearance of the gentleman. And so it's, as much as it is about the disappearance of the gentleman, it's an advertisement because in a lot of magazines that are geared towards men to shop for suits, they will often crop at the head. And so the person is kind of invisible because you don't really see who this persona is behind the suit. Whereas in women's magazines, the head is often pictured, and it's a very good-looking guy because the woman doesn't have that problem with competition as men do inherently. So I'm kind of a psychological logic geek. I used to watch the Learning Channel all the time and Science Channel all the time when the Learning Channel was, actually
TLC.
TLC. So, but anyway, so I learn all these things and I apply it through art because I do feel like I have, I like to create something to talk about, discussion with the art.
He's right, I mean, I am intimidated by dudes with heads.
Well, you don't know it, but
when you get rid of the head, then they're all the same height as me, so it works out a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So it is an advertisement for the suit for anyone to picture themselves in the suit, since there is not a man there.
Yeah.
And also, it's they're very nice, cool suits. Like there's one that's houndstooth. There's a pane glass one, and there's all these different really nice suits. And so anyone can picture themselves in, and there's also no race in it too.
Right, exactly.
So, a Latin person can picture themselves in the suit, white, black, Asian, any of that. So it's I'm trying to promote the gentleman into our culture again.
All right. Speaking of gentlemen, here's a multi-part question. Listen carefully.
All right.
If you could create a cocktail named after any famous Detroiter, who would it be and what would be in the cocktail?
Wow.
I stay up nights writing these.
Man, does anyone else want to weigh in on this?
Well, the Michael Jackson and...
Well, he's not
a Detroiter,
he's not
though.
from
That's
Detroit.
Although he did spend some time here. Obviously, Motown.
the Kid Rock,
Man,
the Jack White.
Oh, my gosh.
The Madonna.
Oh, yeah, the Madonna. Yeah, the Madonna would be... She was also a huge inspiration for me. It would have to be something like pink, almost like a Cosmo, but with a really black cherry in it. Just for that, erotica kind of. And maybe I would call it the erotica.
I like it. Yeah.
There you go.
There you
See,
go.
done. That was easy.
Yeah.
Next.
Teamwork.
All right. Ben Sharkey, thank you so much for coming in and spending a couple days with us. This is absolutely fantastic. The album is called Mercury Rising, and people can get it anywhere where they can spell your name correctly. That is Sharkey. And you've got a couple shows coming up, starting with the one on the 12th in Clarkston.
Yes, in Clarkston in Depot Park. And then 13th, it's Concert of Colors and the lawn of the DIA.
2 free shows, I might add.
Both free
That
shows.
is amazing. Awesome.
As well as Access Lounge, that's also free. It's at the MGM Grand, and that's on the 19th of July.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming in. Have a great few shows there. Until next time, Detroit's moving.
Keep up.
Thank you.
The D-Brief.
Your guide to Detroit's arts and entertainment scene.
Hi, Craig Foley here. If you're listening to the Debrief podcast, well, I've got 2 things to say to you. 1, you have impeccable taste. 2, you care about the community that is Metro Detroit. That's why I think you'd appreciate my daily show, The Craig Foley Show on Deadline Detroit. Every weekday, I tackle the big issues in politics, business, arts and culture, sports. Whatever's on the mind of Detroiters and Michiganders, we will talk about it. It's all open for discussion. And keep this in mind. News doesn't have to be boring. Sure, we talk about serious stories and we have interviews and commentary, but we do it in a way that, if I'm doing my job right, is informative but also entertaining. Check out The Craig Foley Show on Deadline Detroit for news, knowledge, hopefully some fun tossed in.
Interested in hearing from folks in the craft beer industry? Tune in monthly to the Beer Tour Guy podcast. I'm your host, Steve Johnson, and I'm the owner-operator of Motor City Brew Tours. And since 2009, I've taken 25,000 people to enjoy the best beer, cider, and mead being made in Southeast Michigan and beyond. On the Beer Tour Guy podcast, monthly I interview folks working in the industry where you can learn more about what's going on in the industry and in other tours that I'm offering in my tour company. If you'd like to learn more about our show, Beer Tour Guy, or Motor City Brew Tours, visit motorcitybrewtours.com.